Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It's Danny Dodd on this fine Tuesday morning. I'm telling you, the weather is beautiful down here in Central Otago right now. I was up at the crack of dawn, don't ask. But I felt my mind just like stewing with things to talk about on my podcast, and I had to like just get up and go to the gym and just get that, creative juices flowing. That sounded gross. But no, honestly, the weather is so beautiful. I'm so impressed with how autumn is just displaying itself in Central Otago at the moment. Hopped over to Queenstown on Sunday to go and see my brother and catch up and everything else. I had not been through the gorge to Queenstown in about 2 weeks. And I'm telling you, if you haven't been lately, go now. It is stunning. Like, I almost crashed the car a couple of times because I was like, look at that tree, look at that red vine, look at that yellow bush. And then I was like, uh-oh. So, this is your reminder from Danny Dot to get out there and check out the autumn colours that are in Central Otago at the moment because it is stunning. I can't really talk too much more about that. If you're here and you get to see it, get amongst it. How's everyone been? What's the goss? It's been about a week. I don't know. I was sort of waiting for something like a topic to pop into my head to feel like I could just yarn about that. But I don't know. I just sort of like go along and just do my own thing. And I don't know, the whole podcast just sort of comes out of me like verbal diarrhea sometimes, but it's not a bad thing. And it's funny because when all my friends are drunk, they're like, yeah, I'll be on your podcast. And as soon as sobriety happens, nah, can't do it, too scared. So we're not even talking about how many people are actually listening to me at the minute. I'm not even going to discuss it. But the offers and the door's always open if you want to come and have a yarn with me. It's not frightening. And quite frankly, you'll be super surprised at who recognizes you or who feels more like they know you. That's probably a big one, is that, you can drink with someone, you can be their friend, you can think you know heaps about them. And then when someone has to be vulnerable and talk about something like this, nah, I've had some real random conversations lately with people I don't really know. And they're just sort of, super thankful that I brought up this, that, or the other, and it's just, this whole thing is really blowing my mind, and I get super like excited that I get to be the voice for this platform, and that I have you guys as support. So keep doing it. There is an Instagram page. It is _Danny Dot, like full stop, and then the word dot _ I know, it's a terrible handle. I need to change that. And that's where I place all my upcoming topics, things that come to mind. It's not very full right now, but I feel like that's where people have been communicating most with me. But yeah, that's where it mostly happens. I'm not going to do like a website or a Facebook page or anything. Honestly, this is just for fun. This isn't for profit. This isn't for influence. It's not anything like that. It's just, I feel like the people that do know me that can't see me often, and there is a lot of people around the world that I've met on my travels and whatnot that are listening to this. This is kind of their way of catching up with me, and people feel really connected. And I think that's absolutely beautiful because, like, I have a couple of trips coming up at the minute, and the cost of flights is stressing me out. So even though I have friends all around the world and I'd love to catch up with everyone, I can't because, like, no. But more so, I hate traveling by myself. Like, I will literally cry taking off on a plane by myself. I just hate it. And everyone always says, it's one of those things like you have no control over when you're on a plane, and if it crashes, it crashes. It's not, down to anything you did. I treasure my life too much to actually die on a plane. But I am the biggest aviation freak that you probably would never know, unless you're quite close with me and you see it on my socials. But, like, honestly, I would be there in a heartbeat to spend more time with my friends and just know that I'm here for you guys if you ever want to come visit Central Otago and Cromwell. But for me at the minute, financially, I'm not about to go buying tickets to hop on planes, so you can catch up with me on my podcast. I just wanted to sort of re-loop back on my last podcast. I feel like I didn't articulate very well the whole social media thing that I was trying to get across. I haven't listened to that podcast, but I feel like when I discussed it, I kind of felt it a little bit deflated in the sense that it didn't come across the way I wanted it to. This is just from my perspective as someone that's, worked for telecommunications for 6+ years, who had a really great footprint in the fact that I was around when social media became a thing on devices. And, I just wanted to give you all a subtle reminder that if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you grab is your phone and you see something, that sort of puts a little bit of a damper, if it's negative, on your day. And I just want everyone to be reminded that you're in control of what you see. If you don't like something, someone, just anything like that, you are in control of removing that. And possibly, if you don't want to hurt their feelings, if it is a person, you can mute them. You can, it's one of those things where you can support your own mental health by doing such things like that. And I see it all the time, and I remember way back when I first started, and there was this guy who saw something really terrible on social media, and he hasn't been back on it since. And I'm like, yo, shit's changed. I feel like it's changed, but I don't know. But no, I follow things that make me happy, and I just hope that you guys are out there in the world, and mental health is so important. So I just wanted to reiterate that you're in control of your social media. If you don't like something, you can do something about it. If you want to reach out to me for a few tips as to what you could do or how you go about doing things, I know there's a couple of older people. Let me know. I will happily sit down. I'm one of those people that in every single job I've had, people have said to me, you should do seminars. You should come and tell people how they should do things, whether it was insurance, buying flights, tracking planes, doing things for Vodafone and telecommunications and all that kind of stuff, like how you set up a phone. I will dumb it down. And it's not dumbing it down because you're dumb. It's making it simple and putting it into layman's terms where something could be very overwhelming for someone. Well, guess what? It's not overwhelming for me because I've done it as a profession. So, but yeah, I don't feel like I articulated that very well last time, and I just wanted to remind you I love you all, and I just want you all to be super happy. And if you see something you don't like, reach out. I'll show you how to block it. What have I been up to lately? Well, I probably didn't even tell you all about this. I've sort of wanted to touch on it for a wee while. Here in Cromwell, we have a rugby team called the Cromwell Goats, and they have so much support, but they also as a team have heaps of little team spirit activities and whatnot. We have a very dear friend right now who's at the older end of the scale, God love him, and he's playing rugby for the Goats right now. So we filled a vehicle and we drove from Cromwell to Ranfurly, which is about an hour and a half, and I, Danny Dot, was the sober driver, which to the people in the car, that was wild, because why would I be the sober one that was driving? And somewhere I don't know, I've never been before in my life, to go and watch a rugby game. Well, let me tell you, I didn't hesitate. I absolutely did not hesitate. I filled this vehicle up with some random people, and I was like, we're going to go support this player. We're all going to pile in and just see what happens. So the Ranfurly rugby team is called the Maggots, and their rugby ground is called the Offal Pit. It's disgusting. However, the actual rugby ground is in the shape of a bowl, and you can hoist your vehicle up on the outside of the bowl and sit in your vehicle and watch the lads play. Wild. I loved it. I didn't love having to pay a gold coin donation to get into the bloody establishment because we didn't have any coins. And of course, everyone was drinking on the way down except me. So you can imagine when we pull up to this place and we had to like pile out of this vehicle just to find some shrapnel coinage to give to this old dude standing at the gate. Oh, I was thinking, what am I doing? Why have I got myself into this mess? And so we're all there, we're all supporting. Everyone's got their tins, as they call them, their beers. And I've got a good friend, and she's handing out sausage rolls that she's made with homemade chutney. And I'm like, holy shit, like this, what am I doing? This is fabulous. And so the boys won. That was great. Then I had to figure out how to get my truck, or this truck that I drove to Ranfurly off this hill. Lo and behold, just down from us, like 2 cars down, this other Toyota Hilux thing couldn't get up on the bloody side of this bowl thing. So I was like, okay, how do I get down? So I grabbed my friend and put her in the front seat, and I was like, just help me get down off this hill because I'm freaking out. I almost took out a dog and a child. I didn't, but it was very close. But yeah, so we all pile into the rugby rooms, and there's like this weird thing that I just wanted to sort of like make people aware. I don't know if this is every team, but I feel like it is. Every team has this really great thing where they go in after the game, they all have a beer together, they all have a meal together, and then they do like player of the day, and then they sink a beer, and oh, it's so cool. And I decided I wasn't going to drink anything until we were like on the way home, and we were going to stop at the Wedderburn Tavern. And so we thought we'd beat the bus. So as ladies, we're not actually allowed on the bus because the boys do some pretty dodgy activities. It's team bonding. I'm all for it. So we stop in at the Wedderburn Tavern, and we're sitting there having our drinks, eating our hot chips. And lo and behold, the bus went past. I was sitting there thinking, uh-oh. Knock back your drinks, girls. We're going on a road trip. So a friend that was in the car, she was actually tracking her partner, and she was like, he's 17 kilometres ahead. And I was like, righto, pedal to the metal. Don't know this road. I have no idea. I've never been down it in my life. We caught up to them, and it was so much fun, just honking, high beaming this bus. All the players were like, that's our supporters, yeah. We actually left one of our people from our vehicle at that pub, Shadow Creek, I think it was, and she was allowed on the bus with the players, and I was like, just cover your eyes. I won't tell you what they do. It's their team bonding, but yeah, I think every team does it. I'm just convinced. And it was so cool. I just think, oh, if you ever get the chance to support a small team's like sport, they all do these weird team bonding things and have their own way of looking after the supporters. But this was really fun. And then just recently on Saturday night, I was at the pub, and there was about 20 lads. No one really else. There was just 20 lads that they looked like a rugby team. So I was like, oh, here we go. Who's here? And there was this guy who had a gate chain. It was a thick padlock chain around his neck with what looked like a pelvis of, I don't know, an animal that it was a penis. A pelvis and a penis. And I was standing there like, what is that? And he was like, I got the dick award. And I was like, oh my God, this is a thing? And he says, yeah, I'm the dick of the day because I threw the ball to the other team and they scored. So anyway, that team was the team that played Wanaka on Saturday in Wanaka. And then they travelled back to wherever I don't even know what team that was, but they travelled back to where their home ground is via the Cromwell Victoria Arms Tavern and stopped in for a drink. Something happened. Robbie Williams' song came on, I don't know, and they all decided to drop their pants at their feet and stand there with their noodles out. Oh, I tell you, I've had enough. I'm too old for this. But yeah, if you know, like, if this is actually like full on a rugby vibe or a sports team thing where they all have their own way of like just bonding, like I'm convinced it's a rule, and I just want to know where it all comes from. I'm really intrigued because every team has their own thing, and it's really funny. I don't have anything like that. I need to start like a team. What's something I could do? Is it like bowls? No, the bowls is a bit lame. Scrap that. Anyway, that's what's been happening for the rugby side of things for the past 2 weeks. And that's kind of how like I got together with all of my friends, was because they were the girls that support the rugby boys. And shit, we have a laugh. So leading on from that, I've actually made a couple of new friends through my podcast, and one of which is a dietitian who's been helping me just, I don't know, motivation and everything else. So that's super exciting, because I feel like it is a little bit of a link. Like I do need a bit of help. And when you live sort of, I'm not remote, but I used to live in Brisbane and I had all these facilities that I could have used, but I was broke as a stone. And now I'm sort of like managing money heaps better, but I don't have the facilities. So I'd love to pay for someone to help me, because, yeah, I'd be really interested in hearing what they have to say. And especially because like I have medication for my blood clot, and I'm sort of like just, I don't know, a walking prone mess. Clumsy baby giraffe is what they call me. And I've met a guy through this podcast as well. He doesn't know what I look like, which is why today's podcast advertisement actually has a photo of me, is because for some reason he's like envisioning what I sound like, and I think that's so sweet. But yeah, I'm a tall 6'3", curvy, podgy, bloody female, brown hair, brown hazel, green eyes, mixture. I'm a mixture. But yeah, that's been very interesting. Also just wanted to do a little bit of a like shout out, kind of. I got some terrible news on Sunday about a very important person in my life who's been diagnosed with colon cancer, and it's stage 4. He literally is like, when I turned 18, I knew him through the Frankton Arms Tavern. He played in a band that, I don't know, again, I just supported the band. I love his wife and his daughters, and his wife's currently pregnant with their son. I think she's due in June. And, I tell you, I was just broken when I saw this on Sunday. I thought, holy moly. And he's someone that I just sort of like, he is such a really neat guy. And I just am thinking, flag all this healthy shit. He's only 50 bloody 2 or 3, and he's, battling this massive uphill battle. So, yeah, I was super upset to hear about that. And I just wish him and his family all the best with, how they can navigate this. And if you need a hand with anything, like, don't hesitate to reach out. If you even just want me to step in and, I don't know, talk shit and distract you, I'm good at that as well. So, but yeah, that was a massive wow moment, just because Frankton Arms Tavern in Queenstown was 7+ years of my drinking life. I was in love with the bartender there, who was Jason Momoa's doppelganger. We never dated. For some reason he had this like weird, what do you call it? Attraction to the Irish accent. I don't sound Irish. So we never really hit it off very well, but in the same sense, we enjoyed each other's company. King and Queen of Queenstown, he introduced me to drinking red wine with a Malibu chaser. He used to finish work at the Frankton Arms Tavern, and we used to toddle on over to Bardo in Queenstown and sit there with a cheese board and a bottle of red. I think it was Lake Chalice Merlot and Malibu and Dry. And we'd just catch up, just yarn. So that was a big time. But then he did something really dodgy. He used me as a bit of a drug mule between the North and the South Island. But I didn't know. He used to put playing cards packets in my suitcase. And we used to go to Wellington for boozy weekends. And then, I used to come back and I didn't even know, but he used to open my suitcase and take bloody drugs out of it. So, yeah, he got deported out of New Zealand for selling B-class drugs to an undercover cop at the bar he was managing at the time. don't think he's ever been allowed back. I think he tried to come back, but then he had to have like an internal search done. He got stopped at the border. So, yeah, there was that. I was obsessed with him, but no, he broke my heart, and it's okay. Like, I'm better than that. I am better than that type of a relationship, especially because I don't do drugs. I don't know what they are. Like, I was the one that was always interested in like cocktails and pretty things, and like, oh man, I've drunk some really expensive shit in my time, I haven't ingested anything because it's, going to stop me from spending money on alcohol and stuff. Jesus, no. So yeah, my Frank Denham's tavern life was a real doozy in my 20s, that's for sure. So again, I caught up with some friends and we were having a bit of a laugh because I'm changing to my new phone. Yes, I've literally got to do this. It's driving everyone mad. I think I've got 22,000 photos and I've got it down to 14,000. But as I was going through my camera roll, I went right back to the very start, which was 2012. And I had photos of when Snapchat first got invented. And my friends just love this because I kept screenshots of when, you used to receive a snap, and oh my gosh, it looks so different now. It's so crazy. But also, like, do you remember when Snapchat first came out and you used to like click on someone's name and it used to say who their top snap person was? And you used to always know who was touching whose dot. Oh, and it was so stressful when you weren't the number one person. Oh dear. But no, and Flappy Bird, and there was something else just like first iPhone message, like how that text bubble thing used to look. Oh, it's like Microsoft DOS mode. It just looks old. But anyway, I keep photos. I keep photos of everything. So if you ever send me something, be super careful because I might keep it. I've got pictures of people's text messages that just bring me life. But yeah, we were talking about what's going to happen when I change to this new phone, because I have had iPhone 6 Plus since they came out. I think it was like in 2016, 2017 maybe. And I've only changed to a secondhand Facebook Marketplace iPhone 8 Plus in like 2018. And I've still got a home button. And I'm changing to a phone that doesn't have a home button, so I'm freaking out. I'm so old school. And to think I used to work for telecommunications, honestly, I left that job and I got the dumb. Like, I just don't know how to function. I don't know how to work phones now. So this is really scary, but yeah, I just went through this like mindset where if it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't fall into the trap of feeling like you need to keep upgrading your phone just because Apple's flinging out phones. And once they got to like 8, then it wasn't called 9. And it went straight to like X and XR or some stupid shit. And I was like, I am lost. I can't do this. So, yeah, it wasn't till my brother, I helped him buy his, high-ab crane truck that we actually went down the path of updating Danny's phone. And lo and behold, it's now happened. But yeah, if I don't text back, just know it's because I don't know where the home button's gone. But no, but also as we move into winter, I just wanted to drop a couple of health and skincare tips, just something that I've done my whole life, which I feel has worked. I never get told I have like sketchy fucking blistered lips or anything. I am a huge advocate for Vaseline. Just your simple petroleum jelly bloody Vaseline that you buy in a tub, probably in the baby aisle for nappy rash, I don't know. Every single night that I go to bed, I have like a routine that and sort of is about putting Vaseline on my lips. I feel like it's like a winter preventer of like cold barrier on your lips. There's something about it. I've done it for like 15 years. Don't come at me if you come near my bed and there's a freaking Vaseline jar, right? I tell you, it's just for my lips on my face. And just a reminder, magnesium tablets, your biggest friend. Magnesium deficiency is the biggest thing that we could be deficient in. And if you can have magnesium before you go to bed, you'll see huge changes, because there's something really great about just magnesium replacing the salts and the minerals that you lose during a normal day. So if you can start getting into magnesium, there's literally like 7 million types of magnesium. Get the one that's got the most pure magnesium, not like magnesium oil. And then there's things for like magnesium stress, magnesium cramps, magnesium muscle, magnesium sleep. Just find one that works for you. I don't even know what I take. It actually sits in a pill box on my desk. So I don't even have the bottle to talk about it. And the other thing, which is something I brought up on the weekend that everyone thought was absolutely wild, but I think if you suffer from, what do they call it? I don't even know. I don't have it myself, but I feel like it's an old wives' tale that I just wanted to sort of say. If you are lying in your bed, on your back, on your phone, and you feel like you are full of air, need to burp, I don't know, lie on your back, turn to your right, lie on your right for 2 minutes, roll to your left. I can guarantee you will burp, you will get rid of that extra air in your body. And because your liver is on your left-hand side, it aids in digestion and helps with like filtering such things as like alcohol. So you may, everyone's different, but you may wake up less hungover if you sleep on your left side after a night out, because you've had better filtration through that side of your body, because that's where your liver is. If you're on your right-hand side and you're sleeping, I don't know, with your liver in the air, it doesn't get the best sort of digestion, filtration. As I say, I'm not a medical professional. I just do this myself and I know that it works. Just wanted to share with you guys. Try it out. Let me know. Do all those things. I have had a couple of questions come through on Instagram over the past 2 months. I just wanted to, I don't know, pull those questions and just see where we end up, because we're at 27 minutes right now. And I honestly, when I start writing down what I'm going to talk about in a podcast, I said to Mum last night, it doesn't even look like it's that many things. But once I start getting going and talking, all of a sudden it's 40 minutes and I've been sitting here talking to myself. Anyway, first question, do I wear makeup to the gym? Absolutely not. No. When I go to the gym at 6 a.m, I'm barely awake. And actually this morning, this guy came out of his driveway, had his full high beams on. I was coming around a corner. I almost don't even know what was going to happen, but I was yelling profanities. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. So no makeup. I'm barely awake. I'm just, waiting for the pre-workout to kick in. I did wear makeup one time after work when I went to the gym after working at the airport, because lo and behold, I haven't had to wear makeup for my job for 2.5, 3 years. And I got mascara or eye makeup in my eyeballs. Painful thing. I was like, no, never again. So I don't go to the gym to look good, or I just go to get shit done. I get it done, I get out of there. And that's fine. It's so funny because there's a super hot guy that's at the gym at the minute, and I'm going so early in the morning that it's dark and I can see the reflection. I think the gym has done this specifically right. The treadmill faces outside, but you can see the reflection behind you. And when this guy is doing bicep curls and pulling down pull-ups and things, I almost fell off the treadmill this morning. I'm not even going to lie. And then he started doing press-ups next to me. I was like, how, child? But I think I'm really attracted to muscles, because I was like, whoa. So I don't wear makeup to the gym. I'm not about to pull any bloody dates or anything, but yeah, I just get shit done and I go home. Do I have a bedtime routine? Well, put Vaseline on my lips, on my mouth. I'm really big on, I think for many, many years I've done, the bare minimum when it comes to bedding. And I think as you get older, you get more, I don't know, like you spend more time making your bed comfortable. I'm really big on linen sprays, room sprays, sheet sprays. What do they call those? Things that like make you sleepy. So what's that? Lavender and chamomile. I've got that linen spray. Maybe light a candle. I feel like Sunday nights I'll light a candle. Not really. I'm just really big on like clean sheets and shave the backs of your legs, ladies, on clean sheets, please. But bedtime routine just sort of is exactly that. Just make your bed fluffy, warm, relaxing. Use the linen sprays to help yourself like fall asleep and relaxation. I do have a hot water bottle. Don't use electric blankets. I'm too scared that if I use a hot water bottle, it might spill on my electric blanket and fry me. No, that won't happen. Something I cook often. I'm really into like basic recipes. I've spent too much time I remember this one time I made something stupid and it was like I used every stupid pot in the house and I was like, what is this? I'm so big on like cooking basic things like carbonara, like pasta, not using a packet, but just using like homely good ingredients. I thrive in those types of situations. So right now I'm really into cooking just real basic pasta recipes that are full of nutrition. Not anything in particular. Something I cook. I don't cook it, but I've changed my breakfast from like bacon and eggs at 1:00 in the afternoon to having protein yogurt with protein powder in it and some berries. I'm not cooking that though, but I do like that. Something I don't share often. I really should have thought these through before I started answering them. My mum is a redhead. She is beautiful, but she has freckles. And I love her, but she's given me these freckles on my shins. And I tell you, I've been hanging around with people who have stopped me mid-conversation to ask me if my fake tan's coming off. No, darling, it's freckles. And sometimes they start joining up. And I don't know why. Maybe it's a sun thing. But if I've been out in the sun and my shins are like darker, I can't do anything about this. Trust me, I've tried. We've done barley skin whitening creams and I've even talked to my GP about it, who sent a referral to a dermatologist. My GP is as useful as a wet tissue, so I haven't heard back from that dermatologist, but I'm not bothered. It makes me who I am, and it's something my mum has. She's freckles, she's beautiful, she's a redhead. So something I don't share is that sometimes my shins look like tiger skin loaf, but anyway, it's all good. Sort of think we should do the fifth question is actually, what's the favourite wine of the moment? Well, we could probably do a wine of the week. Right now, I'm absolutely just obsessed with my actual wine club wine box, Terra Sancta. It's down on Felton Road in Bannockburn. They have this Slapjack Block Pinot, which I'm going to get this wrong. I think it's the 2016, but don't quote me. That Slapjack Block red is stunning. Like, I don't know if I've drunk so much red wine in my time that's been absolute rubbish, that you have your first sip and you think, why did I do this to myself? But that red, beautiful. And it doesn't even have to be the 2016. I don't know if it is a 2016, but I feel like that number's really familiar. Sorry, I've got like such a sore throat and I don't start coming right until like 2 o'clock every bloody day. But yeah, Terra Sancta, that's got to be my wine of the week. And I think I maybe should do a wine of my like moment every podcast just to sort of show you that I am drinking like lots of different things. But Terra Sancta is my wine club and I am obsessed with I love that wine. And I've spent the whole of last year drinking everything in the area, basically. Me and the girls, we put it away last year. This year, I can't really be bothered with it because I get really shitty at tastings when it's just like a dribble in the glass. So we go to the Town and Country Club once a month to do their wine club because at least then they do a decent pour. But yeah, that's a good drop if you want to get into your Pinots. And listen, I've done 2 Pinot Paloozas and that's my absolute favourite event, one in Brisbane and one in Auckland. $60 for all you can drink Pinots, and there's about 90 of the bloody things in the one room. It's like, if you're a fan of red wine, go to one of them if you can. Flog those bloody urban wine walks, they're stupid. Go to Pinot Palooza if you can, because, yeah, that's where you're going to get all your interesting things all in the one place. So, next pod, number 8. I was kind of thinking I should do something based around making it girls only. That sounds really terrible. I honestly wouldn't talk about anything under the table, or would I? But no, I think we should like cover things like skincare, makeup, shopping, online stuff, entertainment news, wine club, parties, and quite frankly, there's a lot of parties coming up. Holy moly. My jewelry collection, which I don't know, for some reason when I get drunk I show everyone my jewelry. But yeah, it's one of those sort of pods I feel. It's been on my mind for a while because as I get older, things are changing, and I feel like when I talk about things on the podcast, I've had people come up to me and just sort of say, oh, even those like ashwagandha stuff I was talking about, people have started taking that and I feel really relaxed, and I'm thinking, yes, don't feel like you have to just make do with some things, you know. There are items and products that are so much fun to try, and I'm the biggest advocate for online shopping. I'm an absolute menace. For like the past 2 years of knowing all my girlfriends, I had to sort of shut up because I kept telling them when sales were on. I kept telling them when, like, you know, new things and products are coming out. And that was terrible. And because I haven't brought anything this year, I think I'm using up all my things that I can talk about stuff and, you know, the pros and the cons. And I think, yeah, that will be a good podcast. And I feel like I'm getting creative in my mind already to start talking about that. So I will do that. If anyone wants to talk on that one, let me know. But yeah, just have a really great week. It's only Tuesday. We have next Tuesday off, Anzac Day. Just have a really good, safe weekend. I don't have any plans, but I never do, and that's how I like to live. And yeah, just reach out on the Danny Dot Instagram page if you want to ask any questions. I'm always here, and people are finding me on there. It's been absolutely so much fun. And I will see you in about a week. But yeah, take care. Love you all, guys. Bye.